Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Pop Go the Writers. We are back. Jim is back. He spent this weekend at PulpCon or Pulp Fiction or Pulp Fest or someplace with a lot of pulp,
Fest.
maybe an orange juice factory.
Fest. It's short for festival.
How did the
And
show
the funny
go?
thing is I don't like pulp and orange juice.
Nobody does. It's a lie.
Very well. It was. Then why do they make it that way? I don't. I don't
It's
get it
easier for
myself.
them. If they don't have to strain it out,
A show. Well, that's true. Yeah. No, I always buy it without pulp, but I like pulp in my fiction. Everything went really well, and sales were good, and we found out that this was actually this year they broke their attendance record. Paid attendance, paid entries.
nice. I think there's a delay between me speaking and you hearing me.
There is on this end, and I don't. Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Why don't you step out and come back in and see if that fixes it?
Okay, will do.
And now that Jim is leaving, we're going to realize that we replaced his coffee with decaf. Let's see if he notices. All right, folks. We're going to talk about a little bit about San Diego because Jim wasn't here last week when we did a recap. We're going to talk a bit about Deadpool and Wolverine, how well it's doing. And I know Jim got a chance to see it. I know all of the spoilers and whatnot. And we'll talk a bit about the new Batman, the Caped Crusader video or Prime series. But also, I want to remind you guys that Karma is currently on BackerKit. There's less than 4 days left. It's going to go live or it's going to end in just a couple days. We made our goal. I have no idea how, but we're hoping to reach the first stretch goal. So if you haven't checked it out, please do so. And let's bring Jim back in. Are you there now, sir?
What were you expect? Yes, were you expecting to not hit that?
Okay. This is the first time we've done BackerKit. Every time else has been Kickstarter. We're doing the Comictopia thing, and they set the goal pretty high. It was a little aggressive for my taste, but we did finally hit it, and we're still going, so I'm happy with that.
Good for you. Good. What's the next steps then?
Well, it's already written, it's already drawn, all the covers are done, it's completed. So once it finishes this week, then they can send it to the printer and then start getting it out to folks. Or if you're a digital if you did the digital backing, you'll get the stuff. And they may end up. I don't know if we'll reach the goal to turn it to hardcovers, but because we did that the first time. We did regular trade paperbacks, and then we've reached a certain goal level, and we went, okay, we'll make them all hardcovers. But
okay.
I just think
that that's still ongoing.
Okay, yeah, I think BackerKit is still new, and it's a little harder to get traction over there because people aren't sure about it. Where, Kickstarter has been around for a long time. Right. Nothing against BackerKit. I think what they're trying to do is awesome, and I hope more people support them because they're trying to cross promote. You've got a publisher, another publisher you're working with, back and forth. So if somebody backs both books, they get extra prizes or whatever you call what they receive. In this case, they're tarot
You're just
cards.
a writer, you know.
Yeah, Mongo only pawn in game of life. And then there's also a special comic if you back, I think it's 5 different Comictopia things. There's a special comic that includes a page, a unique page created for it from each creator. So that's supposed to tie all the books together. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get used to you having a time delay. Okay, let's start by
Yeah,
talking.
it's going in and out on my end too.
Let's start by talking about your thoughts because we didn't get them on the San Diego announcements, like Robert Downey Jr. coming back for Doctor Doom, the Russo brothers coming back, um, Fantastic
Yeah.
Four First Steps, the image of Galactus. What are your thoughts on all the stuff that was announced there? Oh, and the return of the DC Bullet.
On Russo brothers, yeah, on Russo brothers, I'm all for that. I don't see that as a bad thing at all. It makes me wonder if that was in the if that was in their plans all along, Marvel Studios, to have them back. I don't know, but I'm good with it. They announced what, both titles for the both Avengers movies.
Yep, Doomsday and Secret Wars.
Okay. I'm sure there was a lot of pivoting. Yeah, I'm sure there was a lot of pivoting there. Away from Kang.
Okay. What about
The the Robert Downey the Ro- what?
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. The Robert Downey Jr. news was quite a surprise, but not necessarily an unwelcome one. It's just odd because I think we just don't have any idea of what it could mean and like how he's going to play it. I thought about that a lot about how can he step away from Robert Downey Jr. to play this role in something along the way that we would expect Victor Von Doom to be played, and not make it sort of jokey and snarky like Tony Stark. I don't. I mean, I love the guy, and I've always had a huge man crush on him, and it's going to be really interesting to see what it's going to be. I mean, with so little that we know, it could go really anywhere, I suppose. But I'm looking forward to it. He is a dramatic actor after all,
Yeah.
and um, it, it'll be interesting to see how much he'll be covered up in the film. But I think with where he's at in his career, maybe I'm hoping he can do that. I'm hoping it's not a lot of him without the Doom, stuff on. I'm sure there might be some flashbacks or something like that. But if he can do it with his voice and hand movements and body language and everything, then I think it could be really something special.
I'm told that what he did in Oppenheimer played completely different against anything he's ever played before and would be pretty close to being a
Okay.
villain. Hey Ed, how you doing? Okay, now it seems like Jim may have frozen there where he's asleep. So we'll keep going.
No,
There.
I'm here.
Okay. Um, yeah, Ed, thanks for joining us. We're having a little delay problem with with Jim, but we're going to work our way through it. Um, what do you think of the return of the DC logo from the 70s to 2006, the DC Bullet? Oh, we lost Jim. Okay. If you guys aren't familiar with the DC Bullet, that is the logo they had from 1976 to 1976 to 2005 before they brought in a bunch of other stuff. So we'll get back to Jim on that. Um, I think I will go ahead and start talking about Batman: The Caped Crusader, the new series on Amazon. Oh wait, we may have Jim back. Yeah, we've got a swirl. We got a swirl of Jim, and we have Jim. Let's see what Jim has to say.
I don't know what to say. Well, what's interesting is we were having this problem when we last time we recorded our Doctor Who podcast because we used StreamYard and we were having this same problem. So I don't know. I don't know if it's me or if it's just StreamYard or what.
Well, I haven't had the issue with anybody else, and I've been on a ton of StreamYards in the last week
Okay.
promoting Karma.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Then
So,
it's me, and I don't know why that is. My Wi-Fi's good. I'm getting full bars and all of that.
okay, Jim, two topics. Take them as you
I
want.
got a new camera, even.
The DC logo returning,
Okay.
the Fantastic Four footage. Just go, and I'll sit
Yeah.
back and listen.
Okay. DC Bullet, I'm absolutely fine with that because I've always loved that version of it. It means a lot to me, and I don't have any problem with that. I think that's really cool. DC has had some kind of crummy logos, in these later days, and then this is all good to me. It's nostalgic. Um, um, I I don't like the name of the Fantastic Four movie, but I understand that they need to distinguish it from the other movies that were just called Fantastic Four. I don't know who out there would be confused that this has anything to do with the other Fantastic Four movies. But I think the problem is it's just so blah of a title. I don't see any problem with giving it a subtitle, but just something a little more exciting than that. I understand that it's literal or it even kind of evokes the Neil Armstrong's famous words, about step for humankind and all of that. But I don't know, it's
Hadn't
just
thought about
boring.
that. That's a good catch.
The footage, I was surprised because I didn't know anything about it. When I was at Pulp Fest, somebody showed it to me on their phone. They're like, "What do you think about the Fantastic Four footage?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about? That movie literally just started filming." And then I learned more about it that it's test footage. I'm encouraged by it. It was strange. I'm not so sure I like the way Pedro Pascal looked, but I realized that's supposed to be early or Reed Richards. I like the dating game thing. That was fun. I mean, I'm not sure, what to say, because it's just test footage. I think I need to see something of the real footage to really be able to say. The thing with Galactus at the end was cute.
Yeah, it's nice to see he's not going to be just a giant cloud. He's going to actually have some form and substance and a rather lovely set of eyes
Yep.
that you could literally
Yep.
get lost in. Ed wants to know if you need an AOL CD. He probably has a few laying around.
I wonder if my camera is somehow. I'm, I'm wondering if that might be what it is. My camera might be interfering with the my antenna on my laptop or whatever you want to call it. Huh.
Is this the new PC or the new
I
camera
don't
or?
know. This is my replacement laptop, and it's a new like clip-on camera thing. So I'm wondering if that is somehow interfering with it. What?
Okay.
I don't even know what an AOL CD is. That's some kind of throwback thing, right?
Yeah, it's back when AOL used to mail out CDs. You got 90 minutes of free AOL internet and to
Oh
get you on
God.
board. And yeah, it was a very long
Okay,
time ago.
that's that's really sad. Um, I'm as far as the FF goes, I'm just excited that it seems like things are moving along finally.
And did you get to see Deadpool and Wolverine?
Oh, yes, I did. Wow, have we not talked about that? I guess we haven't.
No, you weren't here
I
last week.
was, yeah, I was, well, you know what it is I've been talking about it so much with everybody else, I don't even remember who I've talked to about it. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Was very surprised at how much I enjoyed it, and loved that I can be surprised. Honestly, flat out surprised by something in a movie these days. Are we doing spoilers?
I'll put up the banner.
Okay, maybe for that it may um, I was knocked over by the Chris Evans stuff because I was I don't I try not to pay attention to things. I don't even God boy with him I don't even remember if I had heard rumors, and if it were maybe it was a long time ago that somebody might have said something, but to have him and then the double surprise of not that he's not who you think he's going to be, was really really amazing, and I really really love that. I didn't get as much bang out of the appearance of the four other people later in the movie, but still really enjoyed that. Um, the people in the theater when I went, I think they went most crazy for Wesley Snipes.
I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't fully get the Gambit thing at first, not realizing that he hadn't really been in the movies before.
No, he was supposed to do a solo Gambit series, but it never happened. But it was in the works, so it was promised and whatnot, but it never actually
Okay,
happened.
same actor.
Yep.
Okay, with that same actor. Okay, well
Yeah.
then I can. What I liked about it was in of those four people that walk out at that point, he was the one where to me it didn't seem like it.
Yeah. So it says when he said "Flame On," I got goosebumps. I'm one of the few people that love the two Fantastic Four movies. And it's cool seeing Johnny Storm again. I am actually with you on that, Ed. Um, I didn't hate them. I thought there was some major problems with the second one when you a have to force Doctor Doom in the movie again, and also turning Galactus into a giant cloud. But that aside, I thought the cast was good. I liked the family aspect. I liked the costumes. Overall, I thought it was pretty good. Um, so it was neat for me as well that Chris Evans came back. Also, he said he wouldn't come back as Cap. He would only have come back as Chris Evans, and he only would have done it for Sean Levy. So, also, from what I understand, he memorized all of that monologue in the ending tag, in the ending, the post credit scene, because he said, "I never get to do this kind of language. I am going to enjoy it and have it memorized." Because they were going to do cue cards, and they were going to. He's like, "No, no, no. I am going full rant. I want this," and I'm thinking that is awesome. It's funny. The movie's doing gangbusters. I mean, it's already over 800 million. Um, it's probably going to break a billion by possibly even this weekend coming up, if not shortly after. Um, but you can find so many clips online, especially on TikTok. Just about every scene you could possibly want is out there on TikTok for you to see. So it's amazing to me that all that is out there and the movie is still just going gangbusters. So uh, yeah, I think it's great. I love that they're doing that well, and I hope it continues to do well. I think it's going to be something to really bring him back around, bring Marvel back around. Did you get a chance to see Hot with Hugh and Ryan? I did. I got to see part of it, and they were not having fun at all, were they? They were in some massive pain. So, hey Jim, welcome back. Okay, I don't know how much of a lag we have with Jim now, but Jim, if you can hear me, and did you get a chance to see Batman: The Caped Crusader? Batman. It's not even the right tune. Okay, no Jim.
I don't know.
See if that works. There you go. Voodoo Doll I made of Jim for dissing the Batman might be working nice. All right, so how many of you got a chance to see Batman: The Caped Crusader? I'm not all the way through. I am 7 of 10 episodes through. Um, I had a little problem, and it's not a problem. It's more I don't understand the reason for the change on the Penguin in the first episode, but it didn't bother me. I just didn't get it. Didn't see the reason for it. Um, if you haven't watched it like Jay hasn't, there are so many Easter eggs. Every time you meet a new character, it's like, oh, that's this person in the DC universe. That's that person in the DC universe. Oh, this reporter is, or this photographer is named Eel O'Brien, or this cop is named Jim Corrigan. And if you have any knowledge of DC, you start going, wait a minute, what's going to, and then they take this massive turn. But they're borrowing a lot of names or um, street names. They always do that in these animated series. Street names are named after creators and stuff. And in this case, one of the episodes has a street called Dozier. And Dozier, William Dozier, is the guy who created the Batman 66 series, or the one that made it happen. So that's a nod to him. And so I really like that. Okay, yeah, Ed was doing the same thing, and it, this is a sensitive thing. I want to say, I hate the way minorities and women and minorities were treated in the past. Absolutely disgusted by it. The glass ceiling, the unfair work environments and stuff like that. That said, sometimes I have a problem when they're doing a historical piece of fiction and they kind of ignore all of that stuff. You know, um, this is supposed to be set in the 1940s. They've made Commissioner Gordon an African American. I don't have a problem with Commissioner Gordon being an African American, but if it's supposed to be 1940s, then it's a little bit hard to believe that he would be police commissioner, that there's a female detective on the force, those kind of things. Now, if you're not set in the 1940s, you can do that all you want. Or you have to establish that Gotham is in a world where that stuff wasn't an issue. And I don't feel that they've done that. They haven't established it. Now, again, it didn't make me turn it off. It didn't make me want to write an angry letter. None of that. I'm okay with it. But when you are talking about something that is supposed to be historical, it does kind of give me pause, like Bridgerton is another one of those. My girlfriend got in watching Bridgerton, loved it. And, it's all about the upper society in Elizabethan England. And there were some, but not a lot of, black people in society in that time. There were Moors and stuff like that. But it's almost like they just ignore that. And I have a little problem with that. Or they don't go to the other extreme where it's every nationality. So again, it's I want the world to be where race, color, and gender don't matter. I want to be in that world. The problem is our past isn't that world. And if you're doing a historical fiction, you need to have a reason. You need to address it or completely set it up in a world that's not supposed to be ours. So, but again, doesn't make me not watch it. I watched Bridgerton with Lisa. I'm watching the Caped Crusader and enjoying the hell out of it and recommending it to people. But those are just little things. The approach on Harley, I think, is kind of an interesting twist. I don't want to get into too much because Ed hasn't had a chance. Not Ed. Jay hasn't had a chance to watch it. But I do find it fascinating and interesting. Some of the twists and the turns that they're doing with it. And I'm wondering if some of these name drops are going to pay off. In future seasons. Are there going to be future seasons? But if there are future seasons, will we get Plastic Man? Will we get, the Spectre, stuff like that? I mean, if you're dropping their names in there, seems like you might be setting them up or you're just borrowing names. So, all right, without Jim here, a lot of the stuff I was going to talk to him about, we covered last week. So I don't know how much to honestly, Ed says, honestly, I don't even notice the racial changes in movies. I don't like the gender swapping of an established and beloved character, though. Make a new character. The other thing that bothers me? And Marvel just announced a bunch of it at San Diego. Making a new character that's basically an old character. Miles Morales. Miles Morales is a great character. He has a strong place in the Marvel universe. But he shouldn't be called Spider-Man. There is a Spider-Man. So either knock Peter Parker off and make Miles Morales the new Spider-Man, or give one of them a new name. It doesn't make sense to have two people as Spider-Man. It makes sense for Green Lanterns because that's a core, and that makes sense. But having multiple Batmans and multiple Robins, and it just, I think it lessens the characters, you know? And it's really just the publishers trying to play on the audience that's already there for Spider-Man and kind of insulating themselves. Where Spider-Man didn't have an audience when it came out. There wasn't a built-in audience. It found its own ground. But nowadays, it seems like publishers are having a hard time doing that. You know, they're just making new characters. There's so few new or completely new characters coming out of Marvel or DC that, you know, I mean, like Miss Marvel is, that's another one. That's using a name that already exists. So that doesn't count. You know, there's another Hulk. There's another, Ironheart is just Iron Man. It's just make a new character. You know, come up with a new name. Give them their own agency. Give them their own existence and history. You know, have confidence in your work to put it out there and not think it needs a crutch. You know, you're already debuting it in other books and stuff like that. But Marvel's got a couple new characters coming out. New Spider-Girl. I think it's a new Deadpool. And it's like, you know, they're not going to spend that far away from Wade Wilson coming back. So are we going to have two Deadpools? You know, and we have Gwenpool, which is a derivation of Gwen Stacy and Deadpool. And then all the different Spider-Man, and it just gets too much for me. You know, it's like, if I want to go pick up and read Spider-Man, I want to read Spider-Man. And if Peter Parker is currently Spider-Man, then that's what I want to read. But if you've killed him off or had him retire or had him become a villain or take a new name and there's a new Spider-Man, then I'm going to follow the new Spider-Man because I like Spider-Man. But having this guy as a Spider-Man and that guy as a Spider-Man, then there's about 6 more Spider-Mans over here. And there's a noir Spider-Man, there's a Spider-Woman, there's a Spider-Girl, and there's how many radioactive spiders were there? I mean, it's. I know the multiverse thing is, but come on. Yeah, I didn't think I'd go on a rant, but here I am. So, you know, guys, I think without Jim, unless let me first put this out there. Do you guys have any questions? Anything you want to ask me? Any topics you want to cover real quick? Because like I said, I did plan to chat with Jim tonight. So without him being here, it's a little difficult. Let's see. Ed says, but unlike Batman and Robin, who have no powers, so you can swap out Robins as many times as you want, how do you give new people established powers? I don't care for that. What are you thinking of season 4 of The Boys? Okay, season 4 of The Boys. What I've seen of it, I think it's pretty interesting. But unlike the previous seasons, it doesn't quite feel like its own season. A lot of it feels like it's a setup for the end, which we know is going to be the end of season 5. I like the situation that Butcher's in and his Jiminy Cricket friend. So that I think is good. I do like that they're dealing with some of the situations that they had preset, but I think it's time for The Boys to end. I think there's only so much you can do because you have to get more extreme and more extreme and more extreme. Some series can't go on forever, and that's the biggest problem we have in the U.S. is we try to get series to go on forever. I mean, look at MASH. MASH is one of my favorite series of all times. It went on longer than the Korean conflict that it's based off of. Kind of strange. Okay. Jay says, what was the most surprising cameo for you in Deadpool and Wolverine? Hmm. Johnny Storm one is up there. Blade is up there. But I think it's going to be Welshpool, one of the Deadpool Corps, the guy with the Welsh flag on his chest, because he's one of the players from the Wrexham team that Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney own. And the fact that Rob McElhenney's cameo got cut. So, yeah, the prequel series is going to be early days of Vought, and I think it's Payback. They're going to follow the Payback group with Stormfront with Anna Cast and Jensen Ackles as Soldier Boy. So that should be interesting. And I guess Sean Patrick Flannery or whatever his name is will come back as Ammo? No. Gun something. Anyway, Ed says, I get the feeling, Dan, this is like a season-long filler episode for the finals. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. I heard The Boys has an animated series too, but haven't seen that one. From what I understand and what I've seen of Diabolical, there's only one episode that really ties to the main series. Everything else is kind of like little side stories. So you want to watch the one that has Highlander and Black Noir working together for the first time. That's the one that matters. The rest of them, they're, like I said, they're more throwaway stories or fillers type stories. So, yeah, Jay's got it. The Boys, Diabolical. It's also on Prime. And since you're watching Batman Caped Crusader, you have Prime. So, one thing I did watch, Lisa had never seen, and it just got onto Netflix, is the series White Collar. And I love White Collar. Matt Bomer, Tim DeKay, Tiffany Amber Thiessen. Just a great show with great writing and this chemistry between the two male leads that is just so funny and charming, yet they have real mysteries to solve. And we sat down and watched the pilot, the 2-part pilot. And Lisa turned to me and goes, I hate you that I love this series. Because she's been trying to get me to watch some things. And I've been like, that's horrible. I'm sorry, but that's not good. You know, we watched some decamp thing or whatever it was about people hiding out from the plague during the revolution. And it's like, that's just the worst thing I've ever seen. So, you know, the last few things she's picked have been either meh or eh. You know, she's into Ghosts, which I'm okay watching it. I'm not looking, you know, I don't want to go, oh, let's watch more Ghosts. But if she goes, I want to watch Ghosts, I'm like, well, okay, go ahead. I'm not going to leave the room. I get the stories and stuff. But so, yeah, she hated that she really liked White Collar. If you have not watched White Collar, it's on Netflix, all 6 seasons, I believe. Such a great show. Ed says, all I have to say is a better kill off Homelander. Yeah. Did I say Highlander? I'm looking forward to the Highlander reboot that I hope is still happening. Did you get a chance to see the Rings of Power trailer? I didn't. I forgot about it. I know it's out there and I forgot to watch it. I'm probably going to have to go through season 1. See, my whole life changed because Lisa moved in. And it used to be we would get together and watch stuff when she came down because I had all the streaming services and she didn't. So we would come down and, oh, we'll catch up on this. We'll catch up on that. And we'd binge watch for a weekend. But there were certain shows that I'm like, okay, I need to watch these for work or whatever. And I just watched on my own. And Rings of Power is one of them. But now that she's here, she's like, well, if you're going to watch it, I want to watch it. And if you're going to watch it and I'm going to watch it, then I kind of need to see what came before. And I'm like, yeah, you do. Okay, let's start rewatching. So it's going to be a lot of TV. Let's see. Wish I could say there were Ed, but in the best way possible, subverted expectations and have killed off people who didn't die in the comics, so no clue. Yeah, they did. And we know the big reveal, the Homelander reveal from the comics is not going to happen either. So unless they swap Noir out again and replace him with the reveal. So I still need to look that up. I've got the Spider-Man discs around here, but I've not found Spider-Man 2.5, so I will look for that. It's been an extremely busy week. I've been out promoting Karma. I've popped up on anybody's show that could have me. I've done live streams through Comictopia and Backer Kid. I've been on Blurred with an Attitude, or Blurred Without Fear. I've been on a bunch of shows. I'm tired. As much as I hope that Karma keeps going and keeps building up and we get more and more money, more and more backers, get the word out there more and more, I am also exhausted. And, I'm digging through old photography work that I did and posting those up to help promote the book, thinking, okay, I'm going to ask people every day to go check out Karma. I need to give them something more to look at than me just begging every time with the same, covers and interior pages. So I started going through my the photography I did for all those years. And I realized that I have some shots that I absolutely love that I cannot put on social media. And I don't know what to do about that. Should I put a book together? Would anybody buy it? I mean, some really good stuff. I don't know. I have to think about that. Maybe there's an answer. I appreciate that, Ed. I've seen some of your retweets and some of your posts and stuff, and I saw that you were actually hyping Comictopia and the other people we had on this live stream, and I appreciate that. I think all but one of the people that we have on the live stream have now reached their goal. So if it's got your name on it, I'll buy it. Thank you, Ed. I appreciate that. Save it for your OnlyFans. I did think about that, like creating either an OnlyFans or a Patreon and just have like a nominal charge, and then every week put up like a half dozen new images and just kind of tease them, but just put them out there like that. See if I can get a following. I don't know. So, all right, guys, I am going to wrap it up there. It has been a long week. I don't have Jim to chat with, so thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for backing Karma. If you haven't, I will not give you the evil eye, but I will think about giving you the evil eye. Now, I know it's not a book for everybody. That said, it is a book that's important to me, and I appreciate everybody who's backed it and who's gotten out there. So I will be back on Thursday on, actually, I'm going to be on Monday night on The Experience. I'm going to guest on their new show, Best Coast Comics, which is like 11 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Pacific. So I'll hop on there and talk with Bronze and his buddy about Karma. And I'll do the News Tuesday. And of course, I'll be back for the show on Thursday. So I will see you all then. Take care, everybody. Have a good night. And Jim,